Today I'd like to talk about refugees. Many of you know that Lake Grove has had an ongoing commitment to Syrian refugees in the Middle East. But now our refugee commitment is going to grow. We're going to grow by having a new commitment in our own area, right here in Portland, Oregon. And I think that World Vision is going to ask us to change our commitment in Bangladesh to be focused on those Rohingya refugees who were persecuted and driven out of Myanmar and are now piled up in Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh. And today I want to focus back on the Syrian refugees that we already are committed to and have been supporting. And though we don't find that political word refugee in the Bible, we do find the word refuge in the Bible a lot. And it's often God who is our refuge. God is our refuge, a very present help in time of trouble. And I think as God's people, we want to be a very present help to refugees or people who are in need, representing God. Perhaps the clearest example of our current commitment to Syrian refugees can be seen in the person of David Williams, who is connected to about 100 Syrian refugee families, but he builds relationships with these families. He offers them food and water when they need it. David does not, and he may not, proselytize, but he is always ready to share or discuss stories from the Bible, and he's often asked to do so because he's a good storyteller. And so this is his way of gradually sharing the gospel so that the people he may be sharing literal water with are also getting living water, because gradually the gospel and the one whom David serves, he's able to point them in that direction. You know, in a certain way, all Christ followers really are refugees, because we are sojourning in this current earthly reality, but we're really citizens of heaven, and we're only foreigners here until it's time for us to go to our heavenly home. So in that sense, I hope that Lake Grove will always have a heart for refugees. I hope we'll always recognize the biblical mandate to welcome and love the stranger in our land. And it's always, of course, with the attitude that we don't want to be strangers to one another. We want to get to know each other. And ultimately, our hope is that we will no longer be foreigners to one another, but that ultimately we'll be part of the same family, and that'll be God's family.